The Broken Pact. In 1987, the entire population of the small Appalachian town of Cold Creek disappeared overnight. No bodies were ever found, and the only clue left behind was a chilling message carved into every front door.
Don't look into their eyes.
30 years later, 4 friends, Emma, Jake, Sarah, and Tyler, were on a road trip when they heard the story from a local diner owner. Ignoring his warnings, they decided to take a detour to Cold Creek. When they arrived, the town was eerily untouched but completely deserted. The air felt heavy, and the surrounding woods were unnervingly silent. That night, as the group tried to sleep in an old house, Emma glanced out the window. Her heart stopped. A tall figure with glowing eyes stood at the edge of the forest, staring straight at her. The next morning, the group explored Cold Creek. Homes were frozen in time, dishes sat on tables, toys littered yards, but no people. In one house, Sarah found an old diary. The final entry was, "The eyes are watching. Don't let them catch you looking." As night fell, the whispers began. Soft and melodic, they echoed through the streets. Sarah heard her name being called and stepped outside. The others found her standing motionless in the middle of the road, her face pale, her eyes wide open but completely black. When they tried to pull her back inside, Sarah collapsed to the ground, trembling. She muttered faintly, "It saw me." Sarah remained unresponsive, her body cold and stiff. The group decided to leave immediately, but when they tried to drive out of Cold Creek, the road was gone, replaced by an endless expanse of dense forest. That night, Tyler kept watch while the others tried to rest. As he sat in silence, faint footsteps circled the house. From the corner of his eye, he saw glowing shapes flitting through the trees. Then, pale, eyeless faces pressed against the windows. Dozens of them. Tyler's flashlight flickered, and the whispers grew louder.
Yes.
The light died completely, plunging the room into darkness. The whispers turned into guttural laughter. Emma and Jake searched for answers the next day and stumbled upon an old church at the edge of town. The walls inside were covered in strange carvings, along with an ominous inscription, "The eyes demand worship. Those who defy their gaze will belong to them forever." They pieced together the truth. The townspeople had made a pact with the beings for prosperity and protection but had broken their promise. In retaliation, the eyes claimed every soul in Cold Creek. As they left the church, Jake froze, his face pale. "Something's following us," he whispered. Emma turned just in time to see one of the eyeless creatures lunge at him. Jake screamed. And Emma ran, leaving him behind. Emma returned to the house, but Tyler and Sarah were gone. She was completely alone now. Emma realized the horrifying truth. The eyes weren't spirits or ghosts, they were ancient beings, parasites that fed on curiosity. By coming to Cold Creek, she and her friends had invited them back. Determined to stop the cycle, Emma used the symbols she had seen in the church to create a trap in the center of town. As the eyes surrounded her, their glowing stares burned into her mind. She chanted the incantation, and the creatures began to twist and writhe, their light dimming. Before the ritual was complete, one of the eyes leaned closer.
"We are you. You created us because you couldn't stop looking."
When the ritual ended, the eyes disappeared, and Cold Creek was left in silence. But as Emma turned to leave, she caught her reflection in a broken window. Her own eyes were faintly glowing.